one point, you were pregnant by Jay?
Yes, I had a miscarriage. I believe I was definitely less than 3 months. It was the first trimester.
I don't understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes outbreak from her giving him the herpes.
He will slump anyone in any relationship for $1.
He's a monster.
It looks like Jay-Z is finding himself in more trouble lately, especially with Carmen Bryan's interview coming back into the spotlight. In the interview, she talks about getting pregnant by Jay-Z and how her life took a turn for the worse afterward. So, what exactly did she say? Carmen Bryan might not be a famous name that everyone knows, but she was a big deal in one of the most legendary music feuds ever. Back in 2001, Jay-Z dropped a track called The Takeover as part of his Blueprint campaign. This song, which kicked off his highly praised album, put his ongoing beef with Nas out in the open. Without saying any names directly, Jay-Z hinted in his lyrics that he had been romantically involved with a woman who was important to Nas. That woman turned out to be Carmen Bryan, and now she's an author. Carmen Bryan sat down with DJ Vlad and broke down her past relationship with the rapper and her decision to cheat on him with Jay-Z. The problem was who I was cheating with, she said. Now, had I been cheating with like some nobody who just wants to play Nintendo all day and smoke cigarettes in front of the TV, that may not have been a problem. Okay, like Carmen, we can get through that, we can get past that. But I was cheating with individuals that were in the same genre of music, the same circles, the same company. But I didn't look at it as if I was doing anything wrong. I felt like this is my circle too. These are my peers too. Like I'm in the box too. Remember the single, Is That Your Chick? That was the beginning of one of the biggest battles of all time. She then broke down her time with Hova.
I had a relationship with Jay-Z, but the thing about Jay-Z and I, we were friends before anything. That was my best friend before we became intimate.
Carmen went on to reveal that her affair with Jay-Z led to her being pregnant.
At one point, you were pregnant by Jay?
Yes, I had a miscarriage.
According to Carmen, her affair with Jay-Z is what started the entire rivalry between him and Nas. In fact, Jay-Z released Takeover, which seemed to hint at his affair with Carmen.
Jay-Z is a very subliminal type, you know what I mean? He throws little, and once I realized what Jay was doing, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna allow him to belittle Nas anymore.
Following this, Nas released Ether, which was sort of a response to Jay-Z's diss track Takeover. At the time, Carmen believed Nas wanted her around during this beef to show he still had her support, even though they weren't together romantically anymore. Carmen told Vlad TV that she was in the kitchen with Nas and the Bravehearts when Funkmaster Flex played Ether, the response to Takeover. In a revealing interview with Vlad, Carmen speaks about an issue that called her reputation into question.
No, I didn't hear it before it dropped. I heard it on the radio like everybody else. Nas and I heard it in the kitchen together on the radio.
She then went on to add, I feel like he needed me to be there in lieu of this battle, in lieu of this beef. It was like, well, I still got the girl, and she's over here with me. I'm about to drop this song and dead everything. That was the plan, and it worked. At that time, the beef between the two multi-platinum New York City MCs appeared to mirror Tupac Shakur's claim that he had intercourse with Faith Evans, the estranged wife of rival Biggie Smalls. Bryan also contended that Ether was a revealing showcase of Nas's personality that is often misread by his deadpan expressions. While Nas did not address his one-time romantic partner in his response to Jay, he accused his rival of a relationship with Foxy Brown, who had previously been a bandmate of Nas's in the firm. Jay-Z would respond to Ether with Super Ugly. In that song, Jay's accusations were not so subliminal. Snatching Nas's Got Herself A instrumental, he rapped, Me and the boy AI got more in common than just bawling and rhyming, get it? More in Carmen. I came in your Bentley backseat, skeeted in your Jeep, left condoms on your baby seat. Almost 16 years later in 2017, Carmen reacted. That was such an emotional reaction. Number 2, my daughter Destiny Jones was like 8-9 years old when Super Ugly came out. So what car seat is she sitting in at 9-10 years old? Jay-Z's never been in any of our vehicles. That was him just grasping at things and just trying to make an instant comeback. But even the next day, when he got on the radio station, Hot 97, he was disheveled. He sounded like he was about to cry. He wasn't sure where he was going with the story. His mother called and made him apologize. Super Ugly was not a well-thought-out plan, and I believe in hindsight that he regretted ever dropping that. In fact, I know for a fact that he regretted dropping it because we have a mutual friend who told me that he said that. She further deduces it was an emotion reaction to an ass whoopin'. In 2017, Carmen Bryan urged a more matured Jay-Z to look at history with empathy. And you know what's crazy about that? Now Jay-Z has a daughter and social media is a Back then, when he made these disparaging remarks and comments about my daughter and created this disgusting visual, there were so many people around him that stayed quiet. They said absolutely nothing. Sometimes when you don't pick a side, you pick a side. I'm a totally different person. Had Nas said something like that about their child, all hell would have broke loose. I would not, as a woman, have stood by any man who disrespects children and them into adult affairs. In any case, while it may seem hard to tell now, the two New York rappers were entangled in a scalding feud for years in the late 90s and early 2000s, taking jabs at each other as recently as 2018. If you think the beef between Pusha T and Drake was messy, you haven't seen anything yet. Jay's mother, Gloria Carter, even had to step in at one point. It all started way back in 1996, when Nas reportedly failed to show up to a recording session for Jay-Z's track Bring It On from his debut record, Reasonable Doubt. The album dropped later that year, and in the absence of Nas, producer Ski Beats sampled Nas's line from The World Is Yours, Pete Rock remix, on another song on the project called Dead Presidents 2. Nas's second album, It Was Written, arrived a month later. Its opening track, The Message, includes the first of many perceived shots at Jay-Z, with Lex with TV sets the minimum. What does a Lexus with a TV inside it have to do with anything? Well, Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt included many references to the luxury car. He likened his mind to a Lexus on Can I Live? My mind is infested with sick thoughts that circle like a Lexus. And the music video for Dead Presidents 2 features a Lexus GS. I saw Jay-Z driving a Lexus with the TVs in them. I got rid of my Lexus at that point and I was looking for the next best thing. It wasn't a shot at Jay, but it was just saying that's the minimum you gotta have. It's not a shot at him, but he inspired that line. It wasn't necessarily a shot at him, but because the song was a shot at everybody, he fell into that, but he definitely inspired that line. Then in 1997, Jay-Z sampled Nas's voice once again on Rap Game Crack Game, another friendly nod to his rival. However, he also dropped a line on Where I'm From, which many consider to be his first shot fired at Nas. I'm from where and pull your card and argue all day about who's the best MCs, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. In March of that year, Biggie Smalls passed away, and Jay-Z did not hesitate in making a claim for the New York hip-hop throne on his song, The City Is Mine. Some claim that Rockefeller artist and Jay-Z protege Memphis Bleek was brought into the feud with his first single from his coming-of-age album, Memphis Bleek Is, which has arguable similarities to Nas's Nas Is Like. Most notably, however, is the track What You Think of That, where Bleek raps, My whole team rock, we don't speak to cats. I'm a ball till I fall, what you think of that? Then Nas fired back with Nostradamus, directly referring to the lyrics on What You Think of That. I need an encore, y'all? You should welcome me back. You want a ball till you fall? I can help you with that. Memphis Bleek decided to step things up with a diss that could not be misinterpreted. On My Mind Right, he references Nas's second studio album, It Was Written. Your lifestyle's written, so who you supposed to be, play your position, while also assuring everyone he thinks very little of his rival. It's beef, I'ma see you and bang till you hang up. Your life a lie, but here's the truth. You ain't hyped to die, but you hyped to shoot. Nas responded to Bleek with Stillmatic, referring to several members of the Rockefeller crew, Jay-Z, Beanie Sigel, and of course Memphis Bleek. Rip the freeway, shoot through Memphis with money bags, stop in Philly, order cheesesteaks and eat beans fast, and then going directly to HOV asking, is he H to the Izzo, M to the Izzo? Then Jay-Z performed a freestyle at Hot 97 Summer Jam, taking jabs at Prodigy of Mobb Deep and Nas, and people were shook. This is where the beef really gets juicy. A polished version of the song Takeover appeared on his 2001 album The Blueprint, and Jay-Z did not come to play. On the Kanye West produced track, he calls Nas a has-been, saying he has one hot album every 10-year average, questions his street cred, and basically comes for him at every level. To many rap fans, Nas's music career seemed dead and gone after Takeover. It soon became clear that Nas would not go down without a fight. On his 2001 album Stillmatic, he unleashed Ether, a diss track that would go down in history. Nas responded to Jay-Z's claims of being a has-been by reminding him he's been in the rap game much longer. I got this, locked since 9/1/1991. I am the truest / name a rapper that I ain't influenced. He then proceeded to attack his street cred and accuses him of copying his style. In 88, you was getting chased to your building, callin' my crib, and I ain't even give you my numbers / all I did was give you a style for you to run with. He also accused Jay of selling out. Y'all ends deal with emotions like bitches / what's sad is I love you cause you're my brother. You traded your soul for riches. He called Jay-Z ugly, a misogynist, employed a lot of unsavory homophobic slurs against him, and alluded to an affair he had with Foxy Brown. He also mentioned that Eminem outshined him on his own song Renegade, and that HOV stole his rhyming skills from Biggie. The beef in the album led to Nas's Lost tapes being released. Then God's Son, which to many cemented his status as NYC's best MC for years to come. People were shook by Takeover, but Ether was on another level. After being absolutely obliterated by Nas, Jay-Z was not going to let him have the last word with Ether. Enter Super Ugly, which samples Nas's own Got Herself A and Dr. Dre's Bad Intentions. Jay-Z dished out his fair share of insults, but he twisted the knife on Super Ugly, bragging about having an alleged 3-year-long affair with Nas's girlfriend Carmen Bryan. A lot of people thought Jay took things way too far. His own mother, Gloria Carter, even called into local radio station Hot 97 saying he should apologize to Nas and his family. HOV called in soon after, apologizing to his mother and any female listeners he may have offended with his lyrics. In the two rappers' native New York City, the atmosphere was particularly intense. Radio stations like Hot 97 would encourage the feud by playing Ether and Super Ugly back to back. At one point, they even took a poll about the beef, with 58% of listeners saying they preferred Ether to Super Ugly. The consensus seemed to point to Nas as the winner. Ether has since become an emblematic diss track, with rappers reinterpreting it for their beef purposes. A recent example would be Remy Ma's Shether, aimed at Nicki Minaj. Since Nas dropped the song, Ether has been frequently used as a verb to denote one rapper asserting their dominance over another using a diss track. The beef continued to sizzle, and Jay-Z attacked Nas again on the title track of his Blueprint 2 album, claiming he's more generous than him, once again questioning his street cred, and even references his Super Ugly apology, encouraged by his mother. My mama can't save you this time. N is history. After Nas's response on the last real N Alive, where he compared the beef between he and Jay-Z to Scarface and suggested HOV is nothing more than a footnote in the history of New York hip-hop. The two basically had a ceasefire, with only minor shots being fired and Jay, temporarily, retiring with the Black Album. 4 years after Ether, Nas and Jay-Z decided to end their beef in front of a sold-out crowd at the Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey, during Jay-Z's I Declare War tour in October 2005. Many fans thought that the tour would see HOV coming for his hip-hop enemies, but instead, he decided to reconcile with Nas on stage. The two performed Dead Presidents and The World Is Yours, with Jay-Z declaring, "All that beef show is done. We had our fun." He said, "Let's get this money." A year later, Nas ended his deal with Columbia Records and signed with Def Jam, now headed by Jay-Z. Shortly after, they officially teamed up for the first time on Black Republican off Nas's Hip Hop Is Dead. Although some people on the internet thought that Jay-Z was trying to reheat the early millennium beef by dropping his album with Beyoncé the day after Nasir. Whether that was intentional or not, the beef is now firmly behind them, and we've got a new collaboration to prove it. Regardless, we hope you enjoyed this opportunity to slice through this finely aged slab of grade A rap beef. In any case, many fans argue that Jay-Z did not just get intimate with Carmen Bryan just to get back at Nas, but just because that's who he is. You see, this is not the first time that Jay has done this. There are rumors that Jay-Z has been intimate with several artists under him. One person who has actually spoken about her experience with Jay is Foxy Brown. Foxy Brown, actual name Inga Marchin, allegedly confessed that her ticket to rap stardom came at a cost, and it all happened while she was young. There are rumors that she claims Jay-Z, then 27, took her V-card when she was just 15 years old, and that Hova, who as the story goes, has a horse-like you-know-what, funded her shopping trips and pampering at hair and nail salons while she was still in high school, all to get into bed with her.
In the beginning, we'd jump in the van, we'd go to Maryland, we'd go anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
But wait, there's more. Allegedly, Jay-Z, according to Foxy, has a thing for trans people. The claim is that she said she discovered this after one began calling and harassing her shortly after Jay-Z gave her the G infection.
Think about what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think about what I'm gonna do, but it's just never pen to paper.
Allegedly, she claimed that during one of her S sessions with Jay-Z, there had been a video recording involved. This session was far from private, as another high-profile individual was allegedly present. None other than the multi-talented Jamie Foxx, who played the role of Wanda in the iconic sketch comedy show In Living Color. It appears Foxy's supposed account ventured into even murkier territory when she allegedly disclosed that Jay-Z had compelled her to sign multiple non-disclosure agreements or gag orders related to an intimate encounter that involved all three of them, herself, Jamie Foxx, and Jay-Z. She asserted that this encounter was, in fact, a threesome. The sensational twist in this story occurred when, shortly after this incident, the alleged videotape of that supposed particular rendezvous mysteriously disappeared from her home. Foxy Brown firmly believes that Jay-Z had a hand in the disappearance of this tape, raising suspicions about his involvement in the alleged theft. In her alleged candid recollection of her experiences with Jay-Z, it seems Foxy did not hold back when it came to expressing her sentiments about Jay's wife, Beyoncé. Her feelings towards Beyoncé were far from sugar-coated, to say the least. Foxy Brown left no room for ambiguity in her candid remarks regarding the global superstar. She allegedly revealed that Bey had also been infected by Jay-Z, she said. Now he is with Beyoncé, F that halitosis-infected H. This track began with Jay-Z's self-assured lyrics, which opened with a provocative nod to Foxy Brown. Fox Brown? Yeah, Jay-Z, what? I keep it fresher than the next by. No need for you to ever sweat the next bee. With speed, I make the best bee see the exit, indeed. He continued, you gotta know you're thoroughly respected by me. You get the keys to the Lexus with no driver. You got your own 96 something to ride. And keep your tied up in Versace, that's why. The chorus of the song unfolded into a mesmerizing duet between Foxy Brown and Jay-Z, igniting more curiosity about their relationship. Ain't no nin like the one I got. No one can F you better. Sleeps around, but he gives me a lot. Keeps you in diamonds and leathers. Friends'll tell me I should leave you alone. Tell the freaks to find a man of their own, man of their own. Man of their own. The issue of Foxy Brown's age during the release of the song in 1996 remains contentious, yet official records indicate that all pre-mixed recordings, including vocals, had been completed by 1994, when Brown was approximately 14 or 15 years old. Her debut album, Il Nana, was unleashed when she was just 17, and it featured no less than 5 co-writing credits with Jay-Z. One track on the album, Il Nana, bore a significant imprint of Jay-Z's influence, hinting at something deeper in their relationship. Things were getting a bit spicy, you might say. It's important to note that Method Man did not contribute to the lyrical content of these songs, yet it was clear that Jay-Z and his associates had a substantial hand in shaping the overtly S nature of this album. The lyrics and content of another track, I'll Be, featuring Jay-Z, were equally explicit, indicating a release date around 1997 with a reissue, while the vocals had been recorded between 1994 and 1996. That said, the most intriguing aspect of their connection was the persistent rumor that Jay-Z and Foxy shared a concealed relationship during the 1990s. Although neither of them publicly addressed these allegations at the time, the undeniable truth is that Foxy and Jay shared an exceptionally close bond, both inside and outside the recording studio. While Foxy Brown was undoubtedly a remarkable performer who left audiences yearning for more, it is Jay-Z's repeated inclusion of her in his tours that raised eyebrows. Many people were left wondering if their connection was merely a friendship, or if there was more to it than met the eye. Why did they maintain silence on the subject? Well, one fact that must be considered is Foxy Brown's age when she initially crossed paths with Jay-Z. It is alleged that she was just 15 years old when they first encountered each other, whereas Jay-Z was 27 at that time. This is where things start to get rather peculiar. Foxy would later sign a contract with Def Jam, and only afterward did allegations surface suggesting a romantic liaison between her and Jay. Once again, Foxy vehemently denied these claims, insisting that her connection with Jay was rooted solely in their shared passion for music. Nevertheless, the circumstances surrounding a 27-year-old man's friendship with a 15-year-old girl undoubtedly raise eyebrows. Their onstage chemistry was hard to ignore, and Jay-Z often invited Foxy to perform with him during his tours. All of this transpired while Foxy was still a teenager. The situation began to draw comparisons to the Aaliyah and R. Kelly scandal of that era, where people couldn't help but feel that they were remarkably close. Always seen together, mingling in the same circles, partying together, it made folks speculate whether there was more to their relationship than they were letting on. In the 1990s, people began to draw parallels between Foxy Brown and Jay-Z and Lil' Kim and Biggie, noting the undeniable chemistry they shared. In the case of Lil' Kim and Biggie, the connection went beyond friendship into a romantic one. It was natural for people to wonder if Jay-Z and Foxy shared a similar bond. Even the infamous Ether track by Nas seemed to imply that Jay-Z had a romantic relationship with Foxy, further fueling the speculation that their connection went beyond mere friendship. Damon Dash was also recently interviewed by Nick Cannon, who asked him, at what age was Foxy Brown signed? And Cannon responded by saying, I wasn't paying attention to Foxy Brown. I didn't sign Foxy Brown. Stop putting me in that. Don't beat around the bush. Say what you want to say. What do you mean by that question? It seems like you got a question for Jay. Ask him. Well, when Cannon pressed him to give a clear answer, he exploded on the host.
Kenyatta.
No,
I'm just asking.
Why you bring that up? What happened with Foxy Brown? I don't know. What were you saying?
But as fate would have it, Damon did slip up while evading the question, which basically proved that there was something going on intimately between Foxy and Jay-Z. Sometime after the allegations were made, Foxy Brown addressed them, claiming that they were as false as they come. She said, the atrociousness of this story sickened me to my stomach. Any and everyone involved will be contacted by my attorney. In all my years in the music industry, these are the most disgusting and disrespectful allegations I've ever experienced. This fictitious story, with no audio, visual, or written interview, clearly was concocted with malicious intent. I will not let any undercover hater create discord and disrespect my name and reputation. This disrespect will not be tolerated. Wendy Williams was also convinced that there was something shady about Jay-Z and Foxy Brown's relationship. While announcing Foxy's memoir's release, Wendy took some jibs at the celeb's unnatural relationship. Foxy Brown has a memoir coming out in December. You might not care. The book is calling up on the most controversial moments of her history and life and hip-hop and so on and so forth. Kim Osorio, please don't be weak with this writing. Please, if you're gonna tell it good. Foxy is very open about her life. But I remember when Foxy and Jay-Z had I'll Be Foxy was the star of that. Jay-Z and Foxy Brown were allegedly a romantical thing. All right, I'll say alleged, but we know. Yeah, she hit it before Beyonce, allegedly. In any case, although nothing is confirmed, the fact that Jay-Z has been mentioned in all these allegations is alarming to fans. In fact, many fans are urging Beyonce to run for the hills. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.